Alright, so this is going to be the tutorial for level 2. So you'll start out over here, go talk to Millhouse, start the first mission. Then you'll run over here, get in your car. I'd recommend getting this Vox Nerduli now. Normally you would get this freebie first try. It's like ridiculously easy to get, I just went too slow. And then you'll come up here. Now, so basically, during this mission you'll have to get away from Skinner. So there are two ways you can do this. The first way is like the beginner strat, which I'll show you now. So you'll come off this jump, Skinner will come up behind you, he'll probably try and spin you out. So then you turn down here towards car wash, then go through. If you stay to the right hand or the left hand side of the car wash, then there's a possibility of getting a freebie. Don't expect to get it every time, it's fairly inconsistent, as with most freebies, so don't get your hopes up about that. But after you come through there, then you'll go through here. Normally Skinner gets stuck, especially if you go through the car wash. And then you'll just drive up here to try and see it. So that's the beginner strats for this mission. Now this is what you would do, I guess, would be more higher level. So what you want to do is, whenever you come up here, you want to drive close to the wall of this building here, the Lard Lads. You'll want to drive close to that, because one of two things can happen. Either Skinner will come up behind you and give you a speed boost, and then you do the rest of the mission like the beginner's strats, nothing will really change. Or sometimes if you drive this close to it, then okay, I didn't get it. So normally what happens is he'll hit the wall and get stuck. So I'll try and show that off. But if you do manage to get him stuck on the wall, like that, then you'll actually drive this way. This is a lot more risky, because if you drive this way, it is a lot easier for Skinner to get through this little shortcut. Like, I think he came through, or he might have got stuck inside. So if he does come through, then what you can do to get away from him is to actually get out here, enter this the DMV, then immediately come back out, and that'll make you automatically get away from Skinner. So that's what you do if you don't get away from him. Then what you do is you come and park somewhere around here. There might be a car in front of you, which could like change where you park your car, but you want to park reasonably far away from Jimbo, so that whenever you finish the mission, it doesn't despawn your car, because if your car is within a certain distance of you finishing the mission, it'll auto despawn the car, and it won't come back again until the mission complete text is gone. So you want to park reasonably far away from him so that you can get in your car immediately. So you just jump over, go talk to him, and then that's the first mission done. And then you'll drive over here, hit this vending machine, and then come to the second mission. You'll just talk to Kearney, and then this will start the second mission. So, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna get in your car. The start of this mission is fairly straightforward. It is basically just driving to Moe's. There's nothing really to say about this, other than just take this shortcut. You can try and get that freebie at the car wash if you didn't get it before. And don't expect to get it, like I didn't get it that time either. And then whenever you get to Moe's, you're going to want to slow down, get out of your car, and then talk to Otto. This whole mission is fairly straightforward. Until the end, where there's a strat for getting away from Wiggum really quick. But we'll come to that whenever we get there. So you're just driving. Nothing much to explain. It's just more knowing where the shortcuts are. You can go for this freebie. Like I got it that time. You usually don't get it, but you can go for it if you want. If you don't get it, there's another chance to get that wasp during mission 6. So then you get the fireworks. Then you come up through here. You want to stay on the right side of this left lane, because you'll be turning around corners faster, but you have to be aware of the traffic. Now you can come in here, get this vending machine. Try and take this bench with you if you can. I couldn't do it. It helps out trying to get that freebie. That one's pretty inconsistent. Then you'll come over here, talk to Ralph. Don't collect the fireworks yet. What you're gonna want to do is get in your car, and now the way you escape from Wiggum really fast is you drive over here, and then you either go around this leg of the sit and rotate, or you go between the leg and the base of this escalator. So it'll look something like this. And then you should get away from them every time. And then you'll drive over here. Now if you don't get away from them, then you'll have to keep driving. You'll turn right at the monorail station and then keep driving on the motorway until you get away from them. Other than that, there's not really anything you can do if you don't get it. So that's the Wiggum strat. Right, so this is the third mission we usually call the Nerd Race. So you'll come over and talk to Comic Book Guy. Now, for people starting out, this race can be quite annoying, because if the nerd car gets in front of you, it can be very, very hard to catch up to him, because the way the nerd works is his AI is programmed to crash during that little tunnel bit. So he's programmed to either crash into the center bit with all the pillars, or to crash into some cars that are in front of him. But most of the time he doesn't do that, for some reason. So it can be very hard to catch up to him. Whenever you start practicing and running this game a lot more, this mission will get a lot easier, but I have lost a few runs to failing the Nerd Race for things that were out of my control. So this mission has another chance to get that freebie at the Krusty Burger. I wouldn't expect to get this one either. Like, that one's very inconsistent. It's more consistent in this mission than the others, but it's still pretty inconsistent. So whenever the Nerd Race starts, you're going to want to drive over to the right here and try and get this vending machine. If you don't get it, it's not the end of the world. So drive over here, try to get the vending machine. Take this shortcut to try and get the freebie, but I didn't get it. Now if you get in front of the nerd car, it can be quite advantageous, unless he's coming right up behind you. If he's coming right up behind you and looks like he's going to push you out of the way, I would advise that you would definitely, like if he comes up behind your car, then I would advise getting out of the way, because if he starts to push you, he will spin you out, and that'll make you fail the mission like 99% of the time. So if he comes up behind you, definitely turn away from it, and yeah. So basically, the way you want to do this race is cut as many corners as you can. Oh yeah, if you do this, you can sometimes send comic book guy flying. Right, so now you're going to warp to mission 4. So this is another follow mission. You're following another black van. At least for the first part. So you'll talk to Frink, then get into your car. Now there's a chance for getting this freebie. As soon as you hit the back wall of the city hall, then just reset your car even if you don't get the freebie. So you'll follow him here. 99% of the time he'll turn right and go around that little ramp. Sometimes he turns left. Right, so now here is a little quirk of the AI. There's three possible paths the black van can take. There's the fast way, the slow way, and the extremely super slow way. So I'm probably going to get the slow way. I've only ever had the extremely slow way once. Alright, so what it is coming up to Moe's. The slow way is if he turns right and goes down past Moe's and past the car wash. The fast way is if he keeps going straight towards the legitimate businessman's social club, and then he'll go straight to where he's meant to go. And the extremely slow way is he'll look like he's going this fast way, he'll come up around here, but then instead of going straight past the car wash, he'll actually turn right and then end up going the slow way, past the car wash and all the way back around. I've only ever had that happen once, but just be wary of it. But most of the time you'll get the normal slow way, which I think yes, he's going to do that here. So if he goes this way, the best thing to do is just go through the car wash, try and get this freebie again, didn't get it, and then you come in here, and you'll park your car, and get this wasp here, if the hitbox would like to exist. Another quirk of the wasps. Now sometimes the black van will get stuck because he goes around this shortcut, but sometimes he gets stuck on a bit of traffic or something. So if he's not like pretty close to you by the time you're driving out, then it's probably best to just turn left and, you know, try and push him out or something. Most of the time he'll just drive normally and you'll come out. Now there's a chance to get this box up here. If you drive fast enough, then you can come around this corner and then hit this box before you get teleported over here. And I got Crazy Snake. So what happened there is that sometimes, instead of coming down here and then driving all the way down this way before turning around, sometimes he'll turn around straight away and he can run over Wiggum and push him all the way over here, and it takes a long time for Wiggum to get up. So if you get Crazy Snake and he knocks over Wiggum, it's usually a pretty big time loss. Most of the time you'll just get normal snake where it'll drive away normally, but sometimes you will get crazy snake. Also, it's pretty easy to get a hit and run in this mission. Like, I might just get one here. So you'll drive over here, and now we're going to cheat at the race between you and Snake. Trying to despawn cars by... I don't know if I explained this in the first part, but if you flick your camera backwards and then forwards really quickly, you can despawn traffic cars. Not sure if I mentioned that. I have that mapped to R1 on my controller. So you go over and talk to Snake, and then you'll start this race. You'll almost always be inside a car at the start of this. So you just come around here, because instead of, you know, blocking this way, so that you can't just turn around and take a pretty big shortcut, they thought, nah, no one would think of doing that. So they just left it unblocked, so you can turn around, and this basically makes the Snake race free. Because he's all the way back there at the start of the motorway, whenever we're, you know, nearly at the end of it. If you do that shortcut, you'll win this race every time, unless you crash into about 500 cars on the way. So you'll come up here, then over here. There's another chance to get this freebie. This is the last chance you'll normally get, and I didn't get it. So you'll come over here, and then in this black screen, if you spam the pause button, it actually gets rid of the black screen, and you can just run over and collect this. And that ends the mission. So now is mission 5. This is a pretty straightforward mission. It's just collecting a bunch of roadkill. The only real speed strat is at the end, where you'll escape from Apu. But until then, it's more just... So one weird thing about this mission is both the hitbox for Cletus's truck and the hitbox for these pieces of roadkill, they're both really big, so even though you could be pretty far away from the pickup, you can still grab it for some reason. It's pretty strange. Watch out for a traffic car that spawns here. Sometimes if a traffic car spawns soon enough, then he can get in the way and you'll crash into him. So that can actually ruin the cycle. So in the time it takes you to get sped up again to go, you know, behind this train to get the other pickup, the train can actually come back around and crush your car, and that'll give you instant 100% damage. If you touch one more thing, your car blows up and you fail the mission instantly. It's not a fun time, so always be careful of the traffic cars around this corner. Apart from that, you'll reset your car after getting that pickup. Just cut this corner, and then come down here. This guy's probably going to get in the way. And you'll come around this corner. If you didn't get the box in the last mission at that little bomb shelter thing, then you can get it during this mission. Also, one more thing I haven't explained is that exclusive to the PC version, you can actually go into first person mode in your car. Well, it's not really first person, it's more bumper cam, I guess. I have that mapped to the R3 button. So what'll happen is you'll go like this. I just like to do this sometimes, usually if my car is smoking, like it's nearly destroyed. It helps me see where I'm going, plus it can reduce lag sometimes. This is exclusive to the PC version. If you're playing on console, you cannot do that. I don't know why they didn't include it. Probably something to do with the engine not working properly or something with it on console. But anyway, that's just one more thing to note. You can sometimes get that freebie. I wouldn't expect to get it this time either. Oh yeah, that reminds me, the physics for Cletus's truck are pretty interesting, to say the least. Sometimes you'll just start doing wheelies for no reason. There's another car in level 4 which has something similar to the physics, probably worse actually, where you'll just start flying about everywhere for no reason. So yeah, just be careful of the physics of this car. So now this is Apu Escape. So you're going to turn around, you're going to come through this little shortcut. Now the idea is that you drive straight forward, then you do a handbrake turn around the back of the Krusty Burger, and then you'll do a normal turn to come out of the Krusty Burger car park, and then drive straight forward until you escape from Apu. Sometimes there will be traffic cars that spawn behind the Krusty Burger, which can make this a little more difficult. You should usually get it if you only do a handbrake turn on the first one and not on the second one. So I'm going to see if I can get it now. So you drive straight forward and there's a car there. Then you come around here. Okay, after you turn the other way, which means I probably haven't got it. So if you do get Apu Escape, you would turn around here, you'd do a handbrake turn, and drive towards the Krusty Burger. I didn't get it because he turned the other way. Normally he'll turn around and drive into the back wall of the Krusty Burger and get stuck. But he didn't do it that time. Sometimes it just doesn't work for no reason. There's nothing you can really do about it. So the backup for not getting Apu Escape is you drive over this fountain, and then over here, if you keep driving forward, you'll always get away. And also means you get that vending machine. So if you had got Apu Escape, you would have come around here and then just driven straight towards Krusty Burger. And that's the end of the mission once you grab this. Right, so now is mission 6. It's fairly straightforward. It's basically just collecting a bunch of monkeys around downtown. So this mission, you're collecting a bunch of monkeys around the downtown area. So it also means that you can collect a bunch of coins. So first of all, you have to come over here, talk to Dr. Nick. It is possible to push Dr. Nick over here with your car, like how you did with Car Skip in level 1 mission 7. Doesn't save any time at all. It's just something pretty fun. So you come over here and get the Mr. Plow off Homer. And then you get in. If you're playing on PC, this is where the car will spawn. If you're playing on console, the car will spawn here. Just one interesting thing to note about the different versions. So this is the path you'll want to follow around. There's a chance of getting that freebie. Sometimes you'd get this vending machine if you got Apu Escape. But basically you just follow this route through the mission, collecting coins as you see fit. You should have between 900 and 950 coins by the end of this mission. If you're using this coin route, I normally just get this wasp here, because it's pretty easy to get. Yeah, so I already have enough coins. One interesting thing to note about what I did there, going behind that little sign, it's pretty weird. You have to drive really slow, otherwise you'll just bounce off it and fall down. So if you drive really slow and keep turning right, you should fall behind the sign and be able to get the monkey. If you fall off in front of the sign or whatever, then just reset your car and drive around. So you go over here. Don't go all the way up that staircase. Sometimes your wheels just melt into the floor. Alright, so whenever you come up here, you're going to want to hold brake, like the E-brake, and hold left, so you can get that box. You'll come around here. It's also fairly easy to get a hit and run during this mission. Watch out for that bush there. That is pretty weird. It has pretty generous collision for some reason. And you'll usually want to reset your car instead of reversing and turning around. It's just a small time save. Then you get out, climb on top of your car, go on top of this roof, kill this wasp, kill this wasp, collect these coins if you need them. Like I didn't need them. One thing you can do is you can get inside your car, drive over here, and then get out. Small time save. I'd only recommend doing it if your car bounces off this wall at an angle. If your car's like parked, you know, parallel to that wall, I wouldn't recommend getting in. Just run straight towards Dr. Nick instead of getting in the car. So next is the final mission for this level. So mission 7, sellouts. Now, this is probably where you're going to lose time in level 2, because getting an optimal sellouts can be pretty hard if you A, don't know where the cars will spawn. Why did that do that? My mouse was not on screen. Right, so basically the way sellouts works is you have to destroy 4 cars in succession. Now the cars will always spawn in the same place, but the strats you do will depend on where you are in relation to those cars whenever you destroy the previous one. You'll probably see an example of this. So you start the mission by getting into your car. So you want to go for a head-on collision with this first one, and then what you're going to want to do is try and push him into this side wall. I didn't get the best first hit. That was much better. So now he's destroyed. So now I always know where the second one will spawn, so I'll try and get a head-on collision with him. Head-on collisions generally do the most damage. Try and get the cars out of the way. So you're going to want to go for a head-on collision with this car. Now depending on what way he turns, you can... I was trying to get him to crash into this little foot here. It didn't work, and I won't be able to catch up to him in time for the first backup, so what I'm going to have to do is come over here, and I've missed the second backup as well. So This is an example of a bad sellouts. If he gets to this stage, just try and push him into anything, really, and that'll throw off your third car cycle completely. So I'm going to go back, try this again, and hopefully show you a better example of what to do. And I got the slow bounce. Sometimes the first car, whenever you get a head-on collision with him, he'll take forever to turn around. And why are you not dead? Why are you not dead? No. So that was an example of a bad first car. So you come over here, do the normal. So you come around here, try and get this head-on collision. Right, so I'll try. Okay, I didn't get the first one, so what you're going to want to do is try and push him into this wall. And I got it. Right, so I should probably kill him before he gets any further. Right, so this is the third car. I was going to show you what you would do in other circumstances. I'm going to start over. Actually, no. I'll show you what you would have done if you hadn't have been able to get the car stuck here. If you weren't able to push him into there, then you would try and push him into here. If you don't get that one, you'll try and push him into the Krusty Burger or the sign for the Krusty Burger. After that, it's more just, you'll have to make it up as you go along after that. So I'll try and give you a good example of sellouts now, up to the third car at least. So that was a good first car. Right, so come around here. Watch out for traffic, because traffic is annoying in this game. Come around here. Go for this head-on collision. So I'm probably gonna... So I'm gonna be able to... No, I'm gonna have to go for the backup Krusty Burger, but I can't because... So I'm just gonna wait for him to come around here, and just assume that I had killed him around here. So then I would turn around and wait for this third car to appear. If you get a head-on collision with him, it's possible to push him up here into this wall, but don't always expect to get it. Sometimes he will just push back, and then you're going to want to push him into this leg, and then that'll kill him. And now this is the last car, so you'll get a head-on with him. Try and push him into this wall. If you don't get that, what you probably want to do is either push him into that leg there, or push him up here. Now, good sellouts would be anywhere from 16-20 up on the time remaining. So if you get 16-20 or above on your remaining time, that's a good sellout. Anything below that, like below, if you have, you know, a 5-minute time left on your timer, that's a pretty bad sellout. So you get these vending machines. So now, here is a really big time save. There's a cutscene that plays after you complete this mission, but for a few frames before the cutscene loads up after the mission complete disappears. So it's between mission complete appearing on screen and the cutscene loading. There's a couple of frames where you can pause the game and select mission 1 of level 3. This is a weird quirk of how cutscenes are loaded in the game. So the best way to do this is to start spamming the escape button, like this, to bring up the pause menu. That is the best way to try and get the frame where you can pause and select the mission. So you're going to want to talk to Frink, and then whenever you get to this stage, start spamming pause. There we go. One visual cue you can try to go for is whenever the camera changes angle. So at the start it was a pretty high angle, looking down on Bart, and now it's more towards his eye level. So whenever that camera change happens, that's how you know that you can select the mission. And if you don't get that, like if you exit out of it accidentally, or something, like you miss the frame, then you're going to have to watch a 1-minute cutscene of Bart getting abducted by aliens, which we don't want to do because gotta go fast. But if you get it, then you should be on this screen. You'll go to Mission Select, push right, and then go to Level 3, Mission 1, Nerd Race Queen. And that's where I'm going to leave this episode off.